Hello and welcome to Gameaholicspodcast episode 5. I am your host, as always, Kickler, here with my scrumptious co-host, Archer. Archer, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
I would answer for everybody, and I think they're doing good as well. They're listening to Gameaholics after all.
That's true. It's Gameaholics after hours.
After hours. We were recording this late tonight. We're going to be going into the wee early morning.
Exciting.
All right, tell everybody about the beer of the week this week.
So we kept it pretty simple, guys. It's Coors Light. Coors Light.
I have actually never had a Coors Light.
Really? I thought
this will be a first.
I thought I have given you a Coors Light before.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. You want to give everybody a little history on it?
Yeah, so Coors was... The beer has a gold like a certificate, which it turns the mountains blue when it's cold enough to drink.
And ours are baby blue. Looking
yes,
good.
Indeed they are. So basically the temperature label has to be 39 Fahrenheit. So that's pretty cool. That's 4 degrees or 4 Celsius for those people that like that.
All our listeners in Australia and UK.
Yep. There was a guy named Adolf Coors. He was born in Germantown in 1847. He was years old. He was 14 and began working at a brewery. So
interesting.
Yeah, times were different.
Well, in Germany, you can drink at 18. I don't know how it was in 1847, though.
Yeah, they probably didn't really law it.
Probably not. It was probably safer than water back then in some places.
That's true. I think water is the base of this beer.
I think the water is the base of all beer.
Are you sure?
Well, most liquids are water-based.
That's true. I just read something that it was really water-based beer.
Huh, interesting.
So, like, it was important. I don't know.
Okay, should we see if we can get that on mic? Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Oh, I heard it.
Yeah.
Oh, that
was
loud.
a good one. That's better than last week's. We got just a little last time.
Let's see how she tastes.
Like you said, that is very similar to Blue Moon. I like it.
A little more, it's a little more dirty tasting, but I'm kind of a fan of that.
I like it. Yeah. It's
Beer's
not
weird.
quite as sweet as like the honey wheat or the Belgian white that we've had.
Honestly, I think that's probably where that water base comes in.
Probably.
Like it makes it, I don't know, makes it dirty. I don't know. It makes it dirty.
Anyway, let's get on into the episode. What have you been playing this week?
I have been going to school like a good boy.
Well, I am graduated, so I'm not going to school pretty much at all.
Yeah, are that headset bothering you a little bit?
Honestly, I can't move much without bumping the computer, so I think I'm going to take it off because I physically cannot move around. So feel free to take yours off too.
Okay. I'm trying to get used to it. So.
Yeah, it's not bad. I just don't have enough cord. But no games this week?
Not really. I mean...
Dude, you're a co-host on a video game podcast.
I know. I have a AAA game on my phone that I play a lot.
Is that Torque Drift or whatever?
Yeah, it's Torque Drift.
All right.
And they do awesome updates, and it looks really well for a mobile game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are a fan of cars and like to hammer that e-brake, play Torque Drift. It's a fun game.
Well, continuing my gaming ADD, because it never ceases to stop. One thing I wanted to point out is the Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening is available for pre-purchase and download on the Switch. So what did I do? I pre-purchased and downloaded it. So I am ready for September 20th. And this is one of my most anticipated games of 2019.
You say Zelda?
Uh-huh.
Another one?
Yeah.
Wow, already?
Well, this is a 2D game. So it's not the big 3D open world like Breath of the Wild. This is a remake of a Game Boy Color game.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
It looks kind of like toy-esque. The characters kind of look like little toys and everything, and it's really interesting. Some people are calling like the original on the Game Boy one of the greatest games of all time.
Really?
So I'm super pumped. I got that voucher with Nintendo Online where you spend $100 and then you get to download 2 games. So if you get 2 full price games, you save $20.
Oh, okay.
Not a big deal. One thing that I discovered, Walmart sells games for $10 cheaper than anywhere else.
Really?
Do you know this?
Like brand new games?
Brand new games. I just bought Control, which I'll get to in a minute. $50.
Huh. I didn't know that.
So you don't need the voucher. You just need to go down to Walmart and pick up a game, and it's $10 cheaper.
We live like less than a mile from
I know.
Walmart.
I had no idea until I was looking online, and somebody's like, pick up the new Control game for $10 cheaper. And I was like, what? So I looked on Walmart, and sure enough, it's available for $10 cheaper with free 2-day shipping. Or you can go in store and pick it up that day and save $10. So I think I spent like $53.75 after tax on a brand new game.
Still saving money.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I mean, if I buy 6 games, I basically got 1 free.
That's nice. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Anyway, Pokemon Masters kind of got a stealth release. We kind of talked about this. That's that new mobile Pokemon game. So I actually downloaded it today and just kind of dabbled in with the tutorial a bit. It's kind of interesting. So like I was telling you before, you recruit trainers to be a part of your team, and each trainer has a specific Pokemon that they use in their team. And the battles are turn-based like the actual games, but it's kind of mixed with Pokemon Go in a sense. That's kind of how they're describing it. So you select which one of the 3 Pokemon you want to attack, and then you pick which one of your 3 that you want to attack with, and you hit the button and you attack. It's supposed to be a little bit more faster paced than like the mainline games or anything.
I wish it would sync with Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
I'm
really intrigued because it looks good, and it works on the phone. So I'm curious to see how well it's going to be. I'm going to keep playing it and see how it is.
You played the Eevee, Let's Go Eevee and stuff?
Yeah.
And that sunk up with Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Did it really improve on your Pokemon Go at all?
It didn't really improve on Pokemon Go. It improved on my Let's Go experience because I got to get all the high-level, high-tier Pokemon without having to actually catch them in Let's Go.
Okay.
So, I was able to get a Dragonite relatively easily, or Alakazam, where normally you have to trade him to evolve from a Kadabra into an Alakazam. In Pokemon Go, you can just get candies and then transfer it over.
Oh, that's nice.
So that's where it kind of came in for me anyway, because then I didn't have to find somebody else that had the game and trade it over.
I played Pokemon Go a little bit this week. And I did that raid thing they had going on. Was it yesterday? I don't remember what legendary Pokemon it was.
It was like a Zelf, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. I got 4 chances to catch it. Didn't catch one of them.
Seriously?
It was bullshit.
That's a whole thing with the Pokemon games in general. Is just catching legendaries is freaking insane.
Yeah, JC caught 3 out of the 4,
and
they were all 3-star. I was like, I can't
you
even
got ripped
catch
off,
one.
dude.
I know. I usually have good luck with raids, and I do catch them, but 20 golden razzes later, I didn't catch one of them.
Let's see. I played and finished The Outer Wilds. I actually finished it right after we wrapped up our episode last week. People talk about having the good ending or the bad ending. I think I got the good ending because I just kind of looked it up afterwards to see. I'm still really confused as what happened, but overall I think it was a good game. Like I was telling you before, some of the controls and everything were starting to annoy me. But it was really interesting, and the ending was really good. I liked it. I'm working on a review right now that we should be able to post up on our YouTube page, so that'll be nice. I also played the Wolfenstein New Order. I'm still working on trying to beat that. I didn't get very far because I started playing Titanfall again, which kind of goes into our discussion topic this week. I think it holds up really well. Even still, I was playing the Titanfall 2, just the multiplayer, just kind of hopped in for a little bit to refresh before we talked about it. Yeah, it holds up really well. I really like it.
Sweet.
Yeah, we'll kind of deep dive into that later. And then, like I mentioned, I picked up Control. I've never had a game that has made me want to buy an Xbox One X before until this game.
And the graphics, like, getting to you a little bit?
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're at that tipping point where the games look really good on the One X, but they look like potato on the original. I was looking into it a little bit. People that play on, like, the original PlayStation 4 are saying this game, like, the frame rates drop like crazy. This game's really cool. It's story-based. Lots of cutscenes in it. And it's really weird. It's made by the people that make Alan Wake and Quantum Break, if you know what any of those are. Mostly just really story-driven single-player games with kind of like a supernatural element to them. Mm-hmm. This one's cool because you get like telekinetic powers. One of the first powers that you get is you can grab something from anywhere in the game and throw it at the enemies. And if you pull something from behind them, it'll hit them on the way to you, and then you can throw it at them again and do double the damage. And that's when I really noticed like the frame rate and the special effects and everything make the game run slow on my original Xbox. But it feels really, really good to do that. And it's cool because you don't necessarily have to pick up an object. If you just hit the button to do that move, if there's nothing near you or you're not targeting anything, you'll just rip up part of the ground or rip out part of the wall or the ceiling or something and huck it at them. So you can always grab something.
That's cool.
It's super cool.
I like that. Yep, I will play more games this coming week. It's been a busy week.
Let's hold them to that, guys. Go on to social media and blow Archer up, all right? Let's move on to news and updates unless you have anything else to add.
I know. I don't think I have anything else to add.
All right. LCG Entertainment has purchased the rights to Telltale Games. Telltale Games makes those story-driven, choose-your-own-adventure, like The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us and stuff like that. They shut down sometime last year, I believe, late last year, and laid off everybody. And since then, their games and like the brand itself has been up for grabs, and somebody finally picked it up. They say that they will start selling the back catalog of games, as well as starting to work on some new ones. And some of the original workers at Telltale Games will be offered freelancing jobs with the possibility of full-time positions later on, which kind of sucks because they're not really offering them a job. They're offering them paid work, kind of. So they'll do a job and they may or may not.
So if nobody buys their shit, then
they're not going to get a job, and they may not even get paid for their work, or they won't get the bonus or whatever.
Which those people that they would hire for work could potentially be making over $100,000 a year.
Yeah,
with another company.
And some of these people, I would assume, already have different jobs at other game creators and everything. So why would you want to go back to a company that shut down and fired you in the first place?
Yeah,
it is under new management, and they say that they'll be kind of working on things better. But I guess we'll see in the coming days and months.
I don't believe those games are very popular in the first place.
They're really popular.
Are they?
The hard thing is those games, Let's Plays, kind of shut them down. Because if you were to stream the game and I were to watch it, we're going to get relatively close to the exact same experience. And so what's the need for me to go out and buy it? Mm-hmm. Like, there's a little bit of choice that we can pick from. And the big ending will be slightly different. But I mean, you could just turn around and watch somebody else that did that, whatever choices you want or whatever. They are really popular, and they sold well. They started a lot of bugs were coming up with their engine that they were using because they didn't really update it and move it up. They didn't try and keep up with it. So they were just trying to churn out games, and that's kind of their ultimate downfall, I think.
Yeah, I never really got into those games. I know my little brother bought all the seasons of The Walking Dead one, and he loved them. So
I played the first episode of The Walking Dead, and it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I played the Minecraft one when it came to Netflix, and I really liked that one.
There was a Minecraft one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, the Minecraft story.
Yeah, and they ported it to Netflix. So you'd play it you'd stream it on Netflix and then get to do your choices. And I tried that out, and that was pretty cool.
I did the Bandersnatch Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
That was really cool. I enjoyed that one a lot.
Yeah, so that's basically the exact same thing that these games are. So if you enjoyed that, you'd probably like these games.
I think when they did that on Netflix, it'll really boost the Stadia, popularity.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very similar to what it is, because I don't think you had to download anything. I think it was just click and go.
Mm-hmm. Stadia will be a lot better, I'm guessing. A lot more.
It better be.
A lot more game and controller work. So, Mario Kart Tour available for pre-registry on September 25th.
That's the release date, right?
Yes, release date.
That's cool. There's been some really good reviews and stuff coming out for that game.
You gonna get it?
People have played the demo and stuff. I'll definitely download it. I believe it's free, so why not?
Oh, it's free?
Yeah, I think it's free except for some microtransactions or whatever.
I suck at Mario Kart real bad.
This one kind of drives for itself. I'm really curious as to how it works. But if it kind of drives itself, I don't know if it's going to be the same experience. But everybody that I've heard that have played it is Nintendo went all out on this mobile game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so, if it's a free game, I'm downloading it too.
Yeah, you might as well.
So, Nintendo Life posted an article about Japan's top-selling games for the last week. And 9 out of 10 of them are Switch games.
This kind of goes back to our comment that this seems like the year of the Switch. It most definitely does.
Mm-hmm. The Switch is an amazing console.
Yeah, it is.
How long have they been trying to make a good handheld?
Well, Nintendo's always been good at handhelds.
Yeah, they compete with top consoles. Like the PSP, it was cool, but it was shit. The PS Vita, I never even played it. The Wii U was cool, but it wasn't the
same thing. Mm-hmm. You couldn't take it on the go.
Yeah. The Switch killed it. It is an awesome thing. You go ahead and take it away. You know a lot about all this.
Yeah, they posted a list, and basically Super Mario Maker 2 is on top. Onokami for the PlayStation 4 is the only game that will appear that's not a Nintendo console. It took number 2. 3 was the exact same game, but for the Switch. Then it goes Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Fishing Spirits Nintendo Switch version, Minecraft for the Switch, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official game, and Jiku Powerful Pro Baseball.
We should get our hands on some of these games.
I think we should too. I mean, Super Smash Bros. Has been out for a while. Minecraft has been out since, I'm pretty sure, for the Switch, I think it was almost a launch title. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, same thing, one of the very first games that they brought over.
Then this was last week, right?
Yeah, this was last week. These games are still top 10 selling.
I would like to try the Tokyo Olympic.
Yeah.
What is that about? That sounds cool.
I think it's just a similar, lifelike interpretation of the Olympic Games. I don't know. It's not like the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games that's coming out later this year.
I'm surprised that Super Mario Maker was number 1.
Have you played that game, dude?
I've played it, I played your level, but I'm just surprised that you create a map and that made number 1 list.
A lot of people don't necessarily make levels. I could be wrong, but I feel like a lot of people don't make levels. They just go on to play all the levels that everybody else makes.
I guess that's cool too.
It's like the ultimate never-ending version of a 2D Mario platformer, which is fantastic in my opinion.
And it's different every time.
Yeah,
there's always
you can load on and there's 100 plus new levels every time you load in.
And probably a lot of them, if a lot of people ain't making them, it's probably by the same guy Or same person?
I've never seen a repeat.
Really?
At least not that I can think of off the top of my head. But it's a fantastic game. It's really, really enjoyable.
Your map's hard. Did you ever end up beating it?
No, I kind of gave up on that and started a new one, which I've finished, so I'll have to make you play it. I posted it on our Instagram. I'm not sure if any of our listeners listened to or played it. But the last news topic that seemed kind of important, it's kind of a slower news week. Yacht Club Games came out and announced a new Shovel Knight game. Shovel Knight was a kind of a retro throwback style game that was reminiscent of the NES era of games. It's a really good game. I've been trying to beat it just a few levels here and there. It's not my favorite style of game, but the new one they announced is called Shovel Knight Dig. It kind of looks like it goes from the NES era to the SNES era, so it goes from 8-bit to 16-bit, it looks like, and it is in glorious, crisp pixel art, but it's in HD, so it looks nice. A quote that they came out with is, it's got quite a ways to go still, but we wanted to give you a taste. So I'm not sure if that means end of this year, long time to go, or if it's end of next year, long time to go. I guess we'll see. They didn't give any idea of a release window or anything. The style that they're going with and the gameplay looks like a cross between Shovel Knight and SteamWorld Dig. Two very different yet similar indie games that have come out. PlayStation blog got an exclusive interview, and one of the quotes that comes out of that is, "Every adventure is different. Shovel Knight Dig levels have been meticulously crafted, then stitched together using proprietary generation techniques for instant replayability." So I'm not quite sure how to interpret this. It almost makes me wonder if this is going to be a roguelike game where every time you die, it restarts you from the beginning and the world changes, or if this is meaning every time you go in and hit new game, it's going to be different every time you play. Not quite sure. I tried to look up more information on that, but I couldn't find anything. And then the last thing to come out from Yacht Club Games is Shovel Knight Showdown, which is a fighting game version of Shovel Knight, will release sometime this December, which is exciting. If you own the Shovel Knight Treasure Trope, I believe you get this for free.
Okay,
so that's cool. It'll be nice, yeah.
Well, that was it for news and updates. Sorry, you Call of Duty fans. I didn't have anything new. They ended their alpha and they kind of kept quiet for the most part for this whole week. So I think there's more guns to come because I don't think they showed them all. They only showed about 5 assault rifles, and there has to be more than 5.
So does that mean this is the end of the podcast? Because everybody thinks we're a Call of Duty podcast.
Yeah.
So we just wrapping it up. We're throwing in the towel. We're returning the mics and calling it good.
Yep. Call of Duty's over, so see you guys next time.
We're just kidding. We're going to take a spin-off from Call of Duty, and we're going to take a deep dive into Respawn Entertainment today.
Much needed spin-off from Call of Duty. Last week's episode was not supposed to go into Call of Duty.
It was
it just did.
So, brief history. Respawn Entertainment happened because on March 1st, 2010, 2 of the co-founders of Infinity Ward were fired because of breach of contract and insubordination. Basically, that means that in some way, shape, or form, they broke their contract, whatever that means. And they also were not answering to authority in the correct way. It's similar to you're not the boss of me, you can't tell me what to do type of thing. I tried to look up more information on the actual breakup and how they got fired, but I think that's kind of put under lock and key pretty well. And I'm sure it had to do something with Activision wanting something more out of them for Call of Duty, or not allowing them to make new games, maybe even.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. 2010 was that big dip and where Call of Duty wasn't the greatest.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and what I find fascinating is a month later, on April 12th, 2010, Respawn Entertainment was born. Basically, they filed for a business license and everything just in as little time as a month, and they started accepting funding through the EA Partnership Program. I'm not fully aware of what the EA Partnership Program is, but how I understand it is you as an independent creator that's making AAA title games can go to EA and say, if you fund us a little bit of extra money, we get to slap your name on it and give you a little bit of kickback for it when we actually start selling it. So I don't think EA had a very big pull in like the creative direction of them at this time, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, it was a good thing EA did, because Respawn has put out pretty damn good games.
Yeah, and EA actually officially signed to join, or to accept Respawn Entertainment as a part of them on November 9th, 2017.
Okay.
So that's when Respawn officially joined EA as a part of their development team. But backing it up a little bit, by the end of July of 2010, 80% of the employees that left or were fired from Infinity Ward started working at Respawn.
Well, they're doing pretty good. Since 2017, they've put out 5 or 6 games now.
4 total games.
4? Okay.
But I think a lot of these people just up and walked out when those higher ups got fired and just went to go work for them. So I really wish I could be a fly on the wall in that era of Infinity Ward to see exactly what went down and how these people were thinking and everything.
The next new big documentary.
That would be really interesting. I'd watch that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They really would.
And when I was doing a little bit of research for this, they currently have job listings for development tester and senior technical animator for an unannounced project.
I'll go be a developer tester.
I would be too.
That'd be awesome.
So I'm not sure what this is. Rumor has it, well, it's not a rumor. They are making a Titanfall experience for VR. So it could be that, but I think they would come out and say that. They wouldn't say unannounced project. Yeah. There was an interview that happened earlier this year when Apex Legends released, saying that they were making a premium Titanfall experience that would come out later in 2019, and we have not heard anything else about that.
Well, we're pretty later in 2019.
Which is kind of making me worry that maybe we're just not going to get that at all.
I hope they don't make a VR version of it, because I played a game and you were like in a tank, so it's kind of similar of Titan, and it made me so sick.
Really?
Yeah, like it was awful. There's just too much going on. It had too much movement. It just made you sway because you had to be standing up to play the game, so it wasn't the great.
I wonder if it would be different because the Titans are supposed to be like humanoid. So they're supposed to walk and step the same way that humans do, whereas the tank's on tracks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was a weird movement. Didn't make me feel good.
Yeah, I think it'd be definitely interesting. I mean, the way pilots hop into Titans makes it feel very VR, where the Titan closes in around you and then the screens pop up all around and give you a look at what the outside. So I feel like if they had somebody really test it and everything, I think they could get a really good feel for it.
Yeah, I believe so too.
Or maybe on, because you said you played it on PSVR.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it would be different on an Oculus or an HTC Vive or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if the graphics really are what made you sick necessarily.
As much as like the movement.
Yeah, definitely movement, because like what Resident Evil did with their movement, if you use the controls to move, it looked like it was skipping, and that made your mind think it wasn't. It like didn't make you sick. It like helped with the sickness of VR.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the other game didn't have that. So if you moved, it was just like that. Like if you moved your head in Resident, like it was smooth, but it didn't make you sick. But if you moved with the controller, since you weren't moving your head, that was what would make you sick. Because you're like looking around, but your head's not moving, but it should be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I
So,
really need to try
Yeah.
a VR experience of some kind, just so I can
It's hard.
get a
It's hard to
better
put it in words.
picture. Yeah, I'm sure it's really hard to explain.
Also, guys, let me know if I explain that well. If you ever tried a VR.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated. I'll try and track one down.
Oh, I need to snag that one you showed me.
Yeah.
$125. That's such a good deal.
Yeah, I think that's like half price of anything I could find.
If I didn't have to buy tools soon, I would go buy that right now.
Anyway, like we were talking about, Respawn Entertainment has made 4 games with a 5th one coming out later this year. So we're going to kind of take a look at the games that they have made, starting with, of course, their first game, Titanfall, which released on March 11th, 2014. It was a console exclusive for the Xbox One. So it came out on PC and Xbox One with a port to the Xbox 360 coming out about a month later in April.
It was in that weird time where they were making games for both systems.
Yeah, it was definitely in that like bridging the generation type of thing. This was about 6 months after the original Xbox came out.
Oh, okay.
Maybe even a little less, because the Xbox One came out in 2013, holiday-ish time. So it's probably, I can't remember, November-ish, probably. So it's probably like 5 months.
Multiplayer only?
Yeah, it was multiplayer only, but they tried to incorporate a story. You didn't play the original Titanfall.
Mm-mm.
So I'll kind of explain this a little bit. They attempted to do a multiplayer campaign combination. So what would happen is there would be cutscenes and story moments before you would load into a multiplayer match. And depending on which side won, kind of depended on how the story progressed. And you'd play through the whole campaign. Eventually you would play both sides of the story. So you have the potential to kind of change the story or whatever. And you would play basically on every map at least once. And it was a really weird story, and a lot of people really beat them down for the type of campaign that they put in, because it was not like anything else, and it was really just playing multiplayer with some cutscenes beforehand. But the story was this group comes in and takes over this fueling station and blah, 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 and there's not really much after that. So the story was not that interesting, but they did make a really good multiplayer. And the game, their main goal was to bring scale in the pilot versus Titan, because Titans are like 20 feet tall in this. Verticality and story into the multiplayer first-person shooter genre. And I think they really achieved at least the scale and the verticality. Maybe they kind of missed it on the story front. But this was the first game that I remember really experiencing that verticality feel, where as a pilot you can double jump and wall run and really get on top of pretty much anything. And when you're running around as a little pilot, there can be people below you, there can be people on the same level as you, or there can be people like way above you, and you really just don't know. And it's really cool because not only do they have sections for the pilot to run through, but they make the big open areas for the Titans to go through. And basically, if you're a pilot in those big open areas, you're going to get squashed at some point. It's just, or the line of sight's going to be so big that somebody with a sniper is just going to come out and pop you off. But there are some like tight corners and corridors that you have to go through and everything as the pilot, which is really cool. Kind of the big gimmick, not really gimmick, but one of the main mechanics of Titanfall is not only do they have player versus player, but they also have player versus environment, where there's grunts and what they call spectres, I believe, that play and fight for your team and for the enemy's team as well. Grunts hardly do anything. You can you'll maybe get hit by them a few times, but they're super easy to kill and they're super dumb. Spectres are supposed to be, they're robots, and they're supposed to be a little bit better AI players in the multiplayer match, and I feel like they are. What was cool in this game is you could hack enemy spectres and turn them to your team. So if you sneak into a building and there's a group of them, you can run up behind them and hack one of them, and it'll turn and shoot the other ones. So it was kind of cool. And that could be used very strategically because your pilot could be controlled with AI as well. So you could drop your Titan down, turn it to like guard mode or follow mode, and it would follow you. And then you could run into a building, hack the enemy's spec trays, and basically you just went from a team of 1 to a team of 10 or whatever. It was super cool.
I like that. That's cool.
Yeah. And other than that, one of the things that they have, or they released the game and it had really good reviews, and not a lot of consumers flocked to it. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that at this time, the Xbox One was really not selling well. This is when they were still under the, you always have to be online. You can't buy used games or anything like that. And so I think that really hurt the sales. What?
When it first came out, was it all digital downloads?
No, you could go and buy a disc. Oh, well, how they first presented the Xbox is you could go out and buy a disc, but that disc would be like coded to your Xbox One, and you could not trade it and give it to a friend, or you couldn't take it into EB Games and sell it back to them, and you couldn't go buy used games because the disc would then be coded to whatever Xbox it originally came from.
And they actually did that?
No, when they released it, I think they fixed it by then.
That would have been retarded.
But yeah, press releases and everything, I think, really turned people off. And I think that has a lot to do with why Xbox is so behind this generation. There is that, and like I was saying, the always on online feature, where basically if you didn't have internet, you could not play games. The Xbox would just not turn on and allow you to play. That was the original kind of push for the Xbox One.
They were trying to get a lot of people on Xbox Live, I'm assuming.
Yeah, on Xbox Live, or the reason it's called the Xbox One is it's supposed to be all of your entertainment in one. That's why it has an HDMI in and HDMI out, so you can plug your DirecTV box into your Xbox and run your TV through the Xbox app and everything.
So basically use it for anything and everything.
Yeah, DVD player, TV, gaming, everything. But with that being said, they were still greenlit for a sequel. So they made enough money and enough sales that they were approved to make Titanfall 2, basically. One of the interesting things in the multiplayer is they used burn cards, which was a system to allow a player to have a slight boost for either a whole multiplayer match or at least that one life. So you'd select the burn card and it'd be like an amped weapon for that life. So you'd get a weapon that does some more damage. Or one was like you spawn in with a team of spectres that follow you around, or extra grenades or something like that.
Something that gave you a 1-up.
Yeah, pretty much. So that was kind of cool. They did drop that for the second one, but we'll kind of get into that. And that being said, let's move on into Titanfall 2, which you have at least a little experience watching, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The game looks phenomenal. I love the graphics they use. Like, everything looks just really crisp. It looks good. It was released worldwide October 28, 2016 for PC, PS4, and Xbone.
Yep.
Xbone. Love that name.
I have a little gripe with EA. So at this point, they had signed with EA to make games. And what does EA do? They released this game right in the middle of Battlefield 1, which came out 7 days before this game. And they put it between that and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which basically came out 7 days after. So they've got these two like juggernauts of first-person shooters in the Battlefield and the Call of Duty series, and they throw this dinky little Titanfall game with not a lot of player base because, one, it was exclusive to Xbox One, so all these PS4 players didn't get to play it, and two, it didn't even sell that well on the Xbox One. So they throw it in the middle of these two giant games.
EA didn't care about Battlefield 1. That's theirs.
But they didn't care about Titanfall either because they put it right in the middle. They should have released it a month before or in the middle of December even, right before Christmas.
That would have been the best strategy, right?
Probably, yeah. I feel like they really shot themselves in the foot with that one.
Yeah.
This is, like I said, at this point, Respawn Entertainment is a part of EA as a developer. And now they're just like, we don't care about your game. We're just going to do it. And just a little future sight, they fucking do that again with Apex Legends. Mm-hmm. They released Apex Legends on February 4th, which was like, 3 weeks before Battlefield's Battle Royale came out?
Yep. They're releasing it right with their own game.
Why are they competing against themselves?
Yeah, that's not a good strategy.
No, it's ridiculous. I don't understand EA sometimes.
EA is a juggernaut, so I don't think they really think about losing money.
But I feel like they're trying to squeeze out some of these developers. Like, look at what they did with BioWare. BioWare makes really good RPGs. They make Dragon Age and Mass Effect. They basically forced them to switch over to the Frostbite engine, which is made for sports games and first off, it's made for first-person shooters. Now they're making everybody use it, so you can't really make an RPG in a game that's made for a first-person shooter in a studio that doesn't know how to use the engine. So Mass Effect Andromeda did not sell well. It was a buggy mess. And then what did they do after that? They forced them into making Anthem, which everybody knows how well that game was received.
It's been free for so long, and I keep looking at it. I don't even know what it is.
They put so much marketing behind it, and it's a garbage game. No one enjoys that game that I know of anyway. I've never heard anything positive come out of it other than the Iron Man flight feels good. It's ridiculous that I feel like EA is just trying to squeeze out these developers that they keep picking up. Like, why not just let BioWare do their own thing?
Yeah. And if you're going to, sponsor a smaller developer, why not make them big and be right by their side?
Yeah.
You're still making money.
Exactly. What I find weird, though, is EA has the DICE team that makes Battlefield and Battlefront. Mm-hmm. They've got the teams that make sports games. They've got BioWare and they've got Respawn Entertainment, and they may have a few others here and there. They force everybody to use the Frostbite engine. And like I said, it doesn't function well for certain games. But why does Respawn get special privileges? Apex Legends is not made on the Frostbite engine. Titanfall 2 was not made on the Frostbite engine. And Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is being made with the Unreal Engine.
I don't know why they get special orders.
I really don't understand. They get special privileges, yet they released Titanfall 2 right in the middle of two giant games. Mm-hmm. It just baffles me.
Maybe it's because they're not fully responsible for everything they do. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're only giving them so much sponsor.
No, they're completely signed over to EA. EA is basically the boss of Respawn now.
I don't know.
Maybe the executives that got fired from Infinity Ward are
made sure that they were in control still.
Yeah, I'm really curious to what their contract says, because they're the only developer that is allowed to not use Frostbite. I mean, Frostbite looks good.
I'm actually surprised they didn't use it for Apex.
Yeah, it would have been awesome, but I don't know. Did you play the Battlefield Battle Royale?
Yeah, it's garbage.
Yeah, and maybe that's what Apex would have been if they used the Frostbite engine.
I don't know. I haven't played it. I played it the day it came out and a week after, so I don't know if it's really any better than what it was. On for that second one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't the best Battle Royale game.
Yeah, they've got Apex, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I love Apex. It's a good game.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't understand them sometimes. That was a huge tangent. I'm sorry. I think this chorus is really getting to me. Did you play any of the single player campaign for Titanfall 2?
No.
Okay. So they released an actual first official campaign where it was not linked to multiplayer at all. And it was critically acclaimed as one of the best first person shooter campaigns to be released. It received extremely good reviews from both critics and players themselves. And in the campaign, you play as a pilot, Jack Cooper, and he has a partner Titan named BT-7274. And kind of how it begins is Cooper has a desire to become a Titan pilot, but he's not really in training. But this higher up captain is kind of give him under the radar training in simulators and stuff. And then these two go out to battle, and Captain Lastimosa is killed, and before he dies, he turns over control of BT over to Cooper. So that's kind of how he becomes a, quote, pilot.
Sounds like a fascinating story already.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's kind of that bromance between a man and a robot type of thing, like an Iron Giant movie thing.
Vin Diesel Giant.
Basically, he picks up the mission that the captain was on, and using Cooper's newfound pilot abilities, so he gets the jump boost, he gets the wall running abilities, and he also gets this gauntlet that he wears that allows him to time travel, which is really cool. I think you only get to play it in like 1 or 2 levels. Basically, you hit a button, and he turns it on, and the building that you're in goes back in time. So in one time, there could be bad guys. In other time, that wall could not be there anymore. Or in the present tense, the building is on fire. And so there's a whole bunch of fire around. And like I said, some walls may be there in one time frame and not the other. So you basically have to like time travel, start wall running, and then jump, and then time travel again so that you can catch the wall that is now there in that time frame and fight all the bad guys in that one, and time jump and fight the bad guys in the other one. And it's really, really cool.
That sounds
if you
awesome.
had to pick one level to show off Titanfall 2's campaign, I think that's the one. It is amazing.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. It won the best the best online multiplayer award from the Game Critics.
That's
and
good.
In the first week, it only sold a quarter of what the original Titanfall did. And even that one didn't sell well. That gets back to why did EA do that? Why did they release it in between?
Don't drop it. Don't drop your smaller game in between 2 juggernaut titles.
Yeah. Like I said, literally a week in between them.
Literally, like, if I'm not excited for Call of Duty coming out, I still go buy it.
Yeah.
Like, even
it's Call of Duty.
Yeah, even if you don't want the game, people are still going to go buy it. Yeah.
So dumb. Anyway, did you play any of the multiplayer or watch it or anything?
For what?
Titanfall 2? We're
No.
still on Titanfall 2.
Oh, yeah. I have not played Titanfall 2. I'm going to go buy it. It's only $7.
That is very true.
Like, it's a good game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks awesome, and it's only $7. So,
all right, so I'll kind of wrap up Titanfall 2 then. This game I thought was really cool. They dropped the burn card system in favor of a boost system, is what they're calling it. So in both Titanfall and Titanfall 2, you get a Titan meter. So as you play the game, the Titan meter slowly fills up, and when it reaches its 100%, you then are able to call in your Titan. And the more you kill people, the more you play the objective, the more you assist in kills, the faster you unlock that, basically. The boost system, once your Titan meter reaches a certain percentage, you get a power-up. One of them was like tick grenades. So you throw out this disc, and it turns into a robot that walks around and then finds an enemy and blows up.
that's dope.
So it was really cool because with the mobility of the pilot, you can really sneak and get behind the enemy team really fast. Then you can toss out one of those tick grenades, and it'll just walk up behind one of the enemy pilots and blow up and get you a kill. It was a really nice way to kind of help distract too, because if you throw that tick grenade and they see that thing crawling for them, they're probably going to turn and try and shoot that, and then you can come in from above and take them out or something like that.
So either way, it has a good potential of getting at least one kill.
Yeah,
and possibly two.
And every time you get it, you get 2 tick grenades.
Oh, nice.
One of my favorite strategies was doing that. Would toss one out a little ways away, knowing that I have a pilot close by, so I'd watch it crawl towards the pilot. Then I would run and wall jump and everything to get behind them and throw another one. And then basically I would set off to one of the sides. So if one of the ticks didn't blow up and get me the kill, odds are the pilot would run away to one of the sides and I'd be able to pick it up pretty easy.
Sweet.
They also introduced what's known as a merit leveling system. So they dropped the traditional experience gained from each match to level up, in favor of you have to get X amount of merit points to level up. So it's like 10 merit points to the next level. Every time you play a match, you get a merit point. Every time you win, you get a merit point. If you in Titanfall, it's really cool. If you lose, at the end of every match, they do what's known as an epilogue. Basically, the losing team has to retreat to a ship that randomly spawns somewhere on the map. And the winning team has to try and either kill all the pilots before they can get to the ship or blow up the ship. And at this time, if you die, you cannot respawn. So once you're dead. And so if you're able to make it to the ship in a defeat and escape, you get a merit point. And there's a whole bunch of different things that do that. And I thought it was really cool because you know those times when you're like level 30 and you're trying to get to the next level and it takes like 5 million experience. This is really super easy because like I said, every match you're getting 1 to 2 at least. Now, if you level up your gun or you level up your pilot or something, you'll get another merit point, which I thought was really cool. This is definitely my favorite multiplayer shooter, I think, over all others. I think it's fascinating because you can get points from killing the AI or whatever. The Titans handle and feel really well. In this one, I think they have like 8 different Titans, so they all do something different. My favorite one was the super fast one. He gets 3 dashes. He's super weak, like he'll die super fast, but he carries around a sword and like hacks his melee does extra damage against other people and everything.
I'm actually excited to get this game and start playing it.
It's so cool, dude. The campaign's phenomenal, and like I said, I think the multiplayer is the best multiplayer shooter I've ever played. I really wish this got the publicity and the sales that it should have. And who knows, maybe if this sold really well, they wouldn't have made Apex. So
yeah, Apex came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Before we get to Apex, they released one other game between Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends, and I didn't even know this one existed.
Yeah, me neither.
It was called Titanfall Assault. It was a mobile real-time strategy game based in the Titanfall universe. It was said to have similar gameplay to Clash Royale, which is that card-based game that I was telling you about, very similar to Gears Pop. It was released on August 10th, 2017, and the servers were shut down by July 30th, 2018. So,
damn. Less than a year.
Yeah. Like I said, I've never played it. I didn't even know it existed, and that's probably why it is shut down, is because even the people that loved Titanfall didn't know this existed.
Oh, and you're not going to advertise something.
Yeah.
I mean, all they had to do was put it somewhere in Titanfall 2, like on a loading screen. I bet, oh shit, I'm going to download that.
Yeah, they could have. Let's see, that was a year after Titanfall 2 came out, so I probably moved on to a new game by then. Who knows?
Okay, guys, Apex Legends.
Apex is just Legends.
Apex Legends came out of nowhere, hit the Battle Royale fanboy page by storm.
Do you remember when they announced this game?
I don't think they did announce it.
Did they go, well, I know they announced it, but did they go, it's out now, or was it, it's coming out in 2 or 3 days? I know it was super, super short.
Yeah. I don't remember them ever announcing it. They could have. I don't think they did, though. I just remember seeing it, like, on my PlayStation home screen. I was like, okay.
Did you know that Apex Legends is based in the Titanfall universe?
I did read something about that.
So one of the main enemies in at least the Titanfall 2 campaign is called the Apex Predators. And I couldn't find anything about this, but Apex Legends is supposed to be like a game show, right?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why you can die and be respawned and brought back in. Mm-hmm. I wonder if Apex Legends is called Apex Legends because the Apex Predators put the show on. So the bad guys are watching people fight to the death, kind of like Hunger Games.
I mean, if they're coming out with a new Titanfall, I guess you could probably find out.
Yeah. And if anybody knows, like, hit me up and let me know. But as I was doing research, that was something that I kind of connected the dots to. And that would be really interesting take on things.
So it was released on February 4th, 2019, without any prior announcement or marketing.
And it released simultaneously on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, correct?
Yep.
Cool.
All at the same time. It received very positive reviews from critics. They praised its gameplay, progression system, the fusion of elements from various genres. Some considered it worthy to Fortnite, which I think it's better than Fortnite.
I do too.
I like the, what's the word I'm looking for? The parkour aspect of the game. Because you really can climb almost anything.
Yeah.
So I love that about the game, especially when you're trying to get somewhere quick. The game surpassed over 25 million players by the end of its first week.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Without very much marketing or anything. That's crazy.
Yeah. There was nothing about the game. And 25 million in a week. It slaughtered Titanfall. Which is going to make the next one huge.
Yeah.
Because everybody that didn't know about Titanfall now knows.
About Apex Legends. So, yeah, if they just come out and say, by the creators of Apex Legends, play the next story in the Titanfall universe or whatever.
Yeah, 50 million within its first month. So it doubled after 3 more weeks. That's
crazy.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah. I remember that going fast.
It was just boom.
And you played right at launch, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they handled that influx of people very, very well.
I don't think I've ever seen the game crash.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it crash or lag or...
The only thing I had a problem with the game was sometimes it wouldn't let me invite players. But it would always let that player invite me. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like sometimes it wouldn't allow me to invite people.
That could be on your end.
Huh?
That could be on your end, though.
Yeah, it could have been my end. But,
So, speaking of weird bugs, this is just a side tangent. This only happens in Respawn games. I noticed it when I first started playing Apex Legends, and I noticed it when I went back to Titanfall 2 this week. But my Xbox controllers drift. I believe to the right on the left joystick and the left on the right joystick.
Just on Respawn games?
Just on Respawn games. And I've tried to look up to see if this is a common thing, and I can't find anything about it. But I have 2 Xbox One controllers. One I've used since day one. It's my day one Xbox controller. And one I bought just to have for split screen games, which there's not many, so it's hardly ever been used. But they both do the exact same thing. And it's only on these games. I play all these other games and no stick drift at all.
It's weird.
It is the weirdest thing. So when I'm playing like Titanfall or Apex Legends, I have to constantly fight this pull to one side.
That'd be very annoying.
It is, and it really cuts down on my enjoyment of the game. I still think these games are phenomenal, but it's getting to the point where it's really hard to play. And it's like, I want to go out and buy a new Xbox controller, but I don't want to spend the $60 on one if
and it still does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing. Anyway.
That is very weird. But Apex is still popular to this
Yeah,
day.
I'm sure.
EA reports that 8 to 10 million players a week,
Wow.
which is still a shit ton of people.
Yeah, that's a lot of...
It's a lot of people. And they did drop that limited time mode of solo. You can solo mode into the game, which I heard people really liked it. I never got the chance to play it.
I didn't either. I really wish I would have.
I think I missed it by a day.
Yeah.
So, what are those the Apex predators?
Yeah.
Are they 4-legged, like, weird-looking creatures?
No, that's just the name of, like, the group of people.
Oh, okay. Because, I know that one of their, I think, 2 recent updates ago, that they added, like, these weird creatures inside of crates.
Yeah, they added weird creatures and, like, giant dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And they did the Fortnite thing where they kind of changed the map a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
I know you can be, like, crushed by those dinosaurs, too, so that's cool. That environmental... They kind of put that in Apex Legends too. You can fight the environment, basically.
Yeah, and so I guess the Titanfall universe, they have like really in-depth like background and story and all this stuff and all these creatures that they've drawn up and designed over the course of Titanfall 2, and now Apex Legends. So it's kind of cool to actually start seeing some of those. Did you ever do the Loch Ness Monster Easter egg?
I did not, but I seen a video of it.
You've seen the video at least?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so you go around the mountain, the map, and shoot these little, like, rubber ducky, basically, Loch Ness monsters, and then the giant Loch Ness monster pops up on the side of the map.
You just shoot, like, little rubber toys of Nessie.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I love Easter eggs.
Yeah.
Like, some of them are really dumb, but, like, it's cool that people figure them out.
Uh-huh.
I think that kind of wraps it up on Apex, yeah?
Yeah. Well, let's do a little deep dive since this is the first Respawn game that you really played.
Yeah.
Like, who's your favorite operator? What do you like to do?
My least favorite is, what the fuck's his name? The Bamboozle dude. What the hell's his name?
The Mexican that hypes up on drugs and runs around really fast?
No, that's my favorite.
Oh, that guy's cool.
Octane is my favorite character. What the hell's his name? Why did I forget
Caustic? The gas guy?
No, it's the hologram guy.
Mirage.
I hate that guy. I think his lines are the stupidest thing ever in the game.
I do too, and his death animation where he's all like super dramatic. And,
yeah. I don't know, I just don't like that character. I started the game out playing Bangalore because I love smoke grenades.
Yeah.
Smoke grenade in that game, so effective.
Oh yeah,
totally. Her super move ain't that effective, but smoke grenades are very effective.
I feel like her super is really good to kind of flush out people.
It is, yeah.
That's mostly what I used it for.
Or like to ride, like if you're getting heavy rained on, like getting a lot of fire put on you, you throw that bad boy out there, people are gonna stop firing. You're gonna be able to heal for a second.
Oh yeah.
But if you add it on with your smoke grenade, like the smoke grenades, you can use them in so many different ways. Mm-hmm. Reviving people, you can shoot them to the left and go to the right, and everybody looking over to the left.
Yeah.
You know, you can use them in multiple ways. I love Octane. I always like fast characters in video games. I've been more of a submachine guy in Call of Duty because it's quicker.
Yeah.
You know. I haven't really played a lot of the other ones. I know a lot of people like the Bloodhound. He's a good character. You can see people through walls.
Yeah. I've never actually played as Bloodhound.
Really?
My main is Pathfinder, the robot, which doesn't do a lot for my team, unfortunately. But how I use Pathfinder is I run away from my group. So usually the two guys will stick together. And so if like we're coming up on Skull Town, for example, you know how there's that giant skeleton over the top of it?
Yes.
So if my team's coming in on, let's say, the north side, I'll grapple up to the top of the skeleton and I'll sit kind of on the east or the south side of Skull Town, and I'll just start pinging guys.
So you take a big high ground with Pathfinder?
Yeah, so I'll take a big high ground, and I try and have a sniper. If I can, I'll try and pick up a sniper, and then I'll just aim and start pinging guys. And then when my team gets closer, I'll start shooting and I'll completely distract the team. So they'll turn and start trying to fight me. And that'll allow my team of 2 to walk in and basically wipe them if I haven't been able to down anybody quite yet.
That's a really good strategy, actually.
Yeah, between his grapple hook and the zip line that he can put out, you can pretty much get on the high ground in any situation.
Yeah, with the grapple hook, like the parkour in that game, you can do insane shit.
Yeah,
like
you
Pathfinder,
can.
like there, and you can use that grapple hook to grab people. So if you don't do that, do that.
Yeah,
It's very effective.
Lifeline's a really good character as well.
Lifeline, yeah. My buddy uses her a lot, and I love the bubble that she gets to cast around.
All right, with that little distraction out of the way, we had to pause the dog run down and kind of ripped the computer out of the wall. We were talking about Lifeline, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I feel like every team needs to have a Lifeline player.
They really do, because her little med bot, super useful.
The medbot and the airdrop is
airdrop.
That's a game changer right there.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm always running around missing a piece of armor, or at least somebody in the team is, and that can really, really come in clutch.
And when there's like 2 or 3 squads left, you need to revive fast, or to heal up fast, like that med bot. You can charge your shields and get your heals all in one.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's great. What's another like necessary character you feel like should be on every team? Like if you had to build your perfect team of 3 in that game, what would you pick?
Ooh, that's a good question. I would definitely put Lifeline. I'd honestly do Bangalore. And on the third, I think I would choose... I wouldn't choose Octane. I wouldn't choose Mirage. I think I would choose either Caustic or Bloodhound. I'd go with like the original 3, really. Mm-hmm. I think they're the best 3 in the game.
I would do Lifeline for sure. I would also do Wraith.
Oh, I forgot about Wraith.
Because that portal that she can put up can really save your team. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's the Hawaiian guy's name?
I have no idea.
Anyway, that shield that he has, that thing is necessary, I think. Yeah, that would be my perfect team of 3.
I haven't had a big problem with that guy. With his shield and all.
What's nice is he'll throw down his shield and then he'll drop his airstrike down basically right on top of himself. And if your team's hiding in the shield, you're safe. And you'll either kill the entire team attacking you or drive them away so you can heal up and whatever with that
I always just full rush that shield.
Yeah.
And just go inside of it.
Yeah, if you can full rush that with a shotgun or something, you're pretty set, but...
Don't rush without a choke on the Peacekeeper.
Yeah.
It's trash. I'm not a big fan of the gold shotgun.
Really?
Yeah, what's it called? I don't know, but it's just like so much kick and I can't seem to hit anything with it, really.
Yeah, I really like the shotguns in that game.
Yeah, the Peacekeeper's great.
Yeah.
Once you have a choke and everything. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people pass up on the digital threat reticle, but I love that.
Yeah, I do too.
My favorite sight.
Yeah. My favorite gun's definitely the longbow.
Yeah, like
that
longbow.
Really powerful sniper. Yeah, because like I said, I play Pathfinder, so I'll sit up top with that. And
I'd never pick up a sniper because I feel like this game is so close quarters most of the time that a sniper is not useful.
Yeah, I could see that.
And like the game goes by super quick, so the storm's always super there.
Yeah,
it's always small quarters.
But I feel like there's enough high ground and long sight ranges, at least in the beginning.
There is a lot of high ground.
And I like to use the snipers for pinging, especially because I can zoom in and see if there's chests unopened or if there's a fight going on. I get a little bit better viewpoint.
Yeah. Apex is a good game.
Yeah, it is. I definitely like Octane too.
Oh, Octane, yeah, I love Octane.
I'm not a big fan of that new one that they put in.
The Russian chick?
Yeah.
I don't really understand her electric fences.
Yeah.
Because I think she's only useful indoors.
Yeah, or in like the canyon.
Yeah.
Where there's
somewhere that's close. Like
if
you have 2 walls and a narrow path, like she's useful.
Yeah, it's definitely used to limit the choke point down to like one or two locations.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I think that was it on Apex.
Yeah, I think so too. Unless there's anything else that you think needs to be touched on. Do you think they'll keep up with it and update it? I
hope so. I mean, 8 to 10 million players a week. You'd have to, right?
Yeah, I hope they don't do the Fortnite route where they're updating it that fast.
No.
I like the little bit slower, and because then you really get to know how the new layout of the map is.
And they don't need to change it.
No.
Like, Fortnite's completely different.
Yeah.
Than what it was.
It's not even the same game, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, they don't need to change Apex. They really nailed it.
What would you think of like a cycling gun choice? What if every month they cycled out almost every single gun in the game to something new?
I'd be fine with that.
Or upped the drops of like an assault rifle or something. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind if they kept doing the limited time like modes like Fortnite does, because it makes Apex a little more interesting. But they don't need to change the gameplay.
Yeah. I really wish I had the time to drop in for that single player, because I'm really curious how the heroes or the Apex Legends worked on their own. Like, I feel like that's when you'll gravitate more towards maybe like Pathfinder, so that you can get around more, or
Octane, be quick and fast.
Those quick, fast move around players.
Bangalore would have been great too. Smoke grenades are really good in any situation.
Yeah. I wonder... I wish I knew, because I wonder how Lifeline did. Because Lifeline can't do anything without a team, basically. Yeah. Like her quick revive, and her robot can heal herself at least.
Yeah.
But that quick revive doesn't do anything.
For solo.
Yeah.
Maybe they changed their special abilities. I don't know. I didn't read it.
I saw some of those new skins that they had for that. Those are sick.
There's an Octane skin. It's gold. Like, it looks like it's like a motocross outfit. It's like gold. I want that shit so bad. I'd spend money to get that. If I could just buy that outfit and not have to roll it.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
I would too.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah. So this is their newest game, releasing later this year. Unlike all of their other games, this is going to be a third-person action-adventure game.
So why isn't DICE making this game?
DICE just makes the Battlefield games. Battlefield and Battlefront.
Yeah. So they just wanted a different Star Wars game out there? Or?
Yeah, I think they wanted a true single-player experience. I'm wondering, because like we said, Respawn is kind of getting special privileges. I almost wonder if they came in and said, hey, we want to make a Star Wars game. This is what it's going to be. Do it or we're going to walk type of thing.
Yeah, they could have.
Because, like I said, they're making this with the Unreal Engine 4 as opposed to the Frostbite. So they're not using the EA proprietary engine or anything like that.
A whole new game.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it. It reminds me of Revenge of the Sith game for like the Xbox.
Yeah, like the Force Unleashed games too.
Yeah.
Those it looks very similar. The thing that excites me, the thing that makes me most nervous is, since it's a third-person action-adventure, Respawn's not known for their third-person combat. They're known for their first-person. Mm-hmm. So I'm really curious how that's going to work. I guess he goes by the name Stig, but he is the director of this game and also the God of War 3 game.
That's good.
So, yeah, they've definitely got, like, a high-end...
That gives me high hopes for the graphics. Because God of War, that won best graphics of the year.
Yeah.
So, God of War's always looked really good on any... As they came out when they were older, they all looked real good.
And I hope he was able to share his insight, because the God of War games are a third-person action game. So I hope that this is right in his wheelhouse and he was able to train the team in doing that. Mm-hmm. But basically how Respawn's structured right now is they have one team keeping up with Apex, as far as we know, and one team keeping up or making Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. So I don't know if they have anything else in the works, but
I wonder if they switch those teams.
I doubt it. I bet you they just keep the people on Apex and the people on they maybe pull a few people over from the Apex teams now that it's out to kind of help get ready for the release since it's coming up so soon.
I'm pretty excited about this game, dude.
I am too. This looks really good.
I loved the Revenge of the Sith game.
Yeah.
Like, I remember playing that when I was littler, and it was like really one of the funnest Star Wars games I ever played.
Yeah, and as short and gimmicky as the Force Unleashed games were, those are fantastic.
Yeah.
At least the first one was great. The second one was subpar, but it was still good. If they can even equate to that, I think they'll be good.
I really do hope they add like the parry system.
Yeah.
Within this game, I think that'd be really cool.
That would be.
I feel like that makes the game more like I'm this guy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it makes you feel like you're in that game.
Yeah. One thing that I found interesting is they're saying that they took. Stig has a quote in one of his letters that he released, and it says, "We took heavy influence from games like Metroid, Castlevania, and the Souls series." So basically, that means that some areas are locked off until you further develop either your force powers or your droid sidekick's abilities. So as you explore and play the game, you'll unlock these new abilities, which will allow you to go back to either a place on the planet or a place on one of the other planets to be able to unlock a new area.
That gives me like the idea of it's going to be a pretty big map.
Well, I think it's like 4 or 5 different planets you get to explore, and I'm not sure how big each map is on the planet. If you watch the gameplay trailer, it seems like it's very linear once you get to the map.
Yeah, they kind of shove you in a certain direction.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's just that one specific area or if that's going to be how the game is, and once you get the upgrade, you physically have to backtrack through those levels. I don't know.
It'd be kind of hard to make a Star Wars game that's free roam.
Yeah, but it would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
One thing is he also said from the Souls series, like I'm assuming Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's trying to make the game hard. And one thing in all of their like press releases and everything is they're really focusing on making the game not as easy as it looks.
Yeah, it looked easy, but like with the trailer I watched, he's crawling up the what are those big robots called, dude?
AT-ATs?
Yeah, he's crawling up the AT-ATs, but he has to go all the way around and then up a certain point. There was only one point he could get to the top.
Yeah, and the whole thing was getting shot the whole time.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's gonna kind of be like a maze game, like you have to do it a certain way.
Yeah,
and it's gonna trick you, but there's only one way to do it.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool.
I'm curious if they're taking influence from the Souls series, does that mean that like the base enemies are going to be super hard to kill? It looks like the stormtroopers can die in like 1 or 2 hits from your lightsaber, but there are some bigger enemies that seem to take more.
Yeah, the stormtroopers that have the electricity staffs. It looks like those ones fight back quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be like in the lore. They're supposed to be trained to hunt down and be able to put up a fight with Jedi. Mm-hmm. So in one of the gameplay trailers, they have your character fighting one of them, and he seems like it's a pretty tough fight. I mean, there's only him in the room, so
looks like a good game so far. Even though the trailers you said they were an alpha, right?
Yeah, when you watch the gameplay trailer, it says alpha footage. So you were saying that it looks realistic yet kind of cartoony. Mm-hmm. I'm really curious if that's going to change.
Yeah.
If this alpha footage is going to... But, you know, like you said, you kind of like that. Mm-hmm. It looks like, you know, the lifelike Star Wars games combined with the really good cartoons that they have put out in the years.
But, like, the Call of Duty we played was an alpha, and it looked...
Yeah, it looked fantastic.
And it could change, too. It could have been not fully polished, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I'm excited of the story of this game.
Yeah, getting to that.
Like, it's been so long that I've actually played a decent story.
Yeah.
Like, Battlefield 5 had a good story, and they're still releasing it, and I keep up with it. But that's, like, the only game in the past 2 or 3 years that I've actually played a story.
Yeah, I really, really hope it's a good single-player Star Wars game, because I have been craving one of those for so long.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, because Battlefront never had a story. They had those, like, 2-player missions you could do, right? Like, wave fronts or whatever they're called. Those were alright.
In this game, so I guess your Jedi character was able to escape Order 66.
Yeah.
The timeline is in between episode 3 and episode 4.
Oh, okay.
And so he's kind of hiding his force powers. And if you watch some of the trailers, there's an event that happens. He's working for the Empire and as like a construction worker, and there's an incident and one of his workers is falling to his death basically, and he uses the force to be able to grab him. And I guess that's what kind of pushes them over to have to go into hiding and fight back. And basically when there's a Jedi around, they send in those force lightning wielding staff stormtroopers, and they also send in Inquisitors. Do you know what Inquisitors are?
I do not.
Okay. I have a quote here from Wikipedia.
Ooh. Wikipedia.
Inquisitors are also known as the Inquisitor Program and the Order of Inquisitors. Was an organization of force-sensitive agents who worked for the Galactic Empire. Members of the Inquisitors were known as Imperial Inquisitors, Inquisitors, Red Blades, Mythics by the Imperial officers, and sometimes even Jedi Hunters. They were tasked with hunting down the remaining Jedi who had survived Order 66 at the end of the Clone Wars. So these are basically, a lot of them, I guess, are like Jedi that when Order 66 happened, they decided that they wanted to work for the Empire. So they switched over and they got their, quote, Sith lightsaber. I guess they don't have like full-blown Sith powers, but they're like bad Jedi, basically. Or some of them aren't necessarily trained in the Force, but they're trained in the ability to be able to fight Jedi with lightsabers and stuff.
Okay. That makes
So,
sense.
Kind of interesting, anyway.
Good lightsaber wielders.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if that's going to be like the main bad guy of the game, or if that's going to be just a sub boss or something.
I'm guessing they're gonna have a couple sub bosses.
Yeah, I would think so. I would hope so. If they're taking inspiration from Metroid and Castlevania, there's got to be like tons and tons of different bosses that you have to fight.
And when does this game release?
November.
How long have they been developing?
They said that it was in works right after Titanfall 2.
Oh, so it's been a while.
Like 3 years about.
Damn, it better be a good-ass game. 3 years.
Yeah. I'm looking up the release date right now, so we have a confirmed.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited. It's been a minute for a good... Like, Battlefront's a good Star Wars game.
But there's no story.
Yeah,
and I don't think those hold up nearly as well as the original Battlefront games.
Oh, no. No, not at all. They're still good. They're fun. They came out right when Star Wars is getting big again.
They look fantastic, though.
Yeah, they look god-awful.
Yeah.
They look way good.
The official release date for Jedi Fallen Order is November 15th of this year.
November 15th?
Yep. So we're just...
Pick it up on Black Friday, people.
3 months out.
I always pick up 2 new games on Black Friday because they're only $30 at Walmart.
You need to take me on this.
Yeah.
I've never bought a game on Black Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, that's the only way. Yeah, they're like $30 when they're 60.
That's awesome. One thing that I found really cool is if you watch the trailers, the character uses his lightsaber as a utility tool sometimes too.
Huh.
In the sense that he uses a machete to cut down vines, or in one point he uses it as like a flashlight. So I'm really curious if they'll implement different things into that, because I think it's really cool that you can use your lightsaber as something other than a sword to fight with.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll connect to the... I wonder if the game starts with you not having a lightsaber, and then once you get the lightsaber, you're able to go and, search the dark area or cut down the vines to get to a new area.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. That would be really interesting as well.
Yeah. Sounds like a good game.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
And I'm actually really excited for it, too.
I'm really kind of disappointed that there's not more information out there.
Yeah, 3 years, they've kept it pretty freaking hush-hush.
Yeah, but at the same time, if there's not a lot out there, maybe they're holding back a lot because it's going to be like mind-blowing when it comes out.
Well, I mean, 3 years, that sounds like it's going to be a pretty big game.
Yeah, and I mean, I think every game that Respawn has made has been really, really good. Maybe they didn't get the publicity and maybe they didn't sell a lot, but they've been solid games.
Yeah.
So I have really high hopes. I have a few concerns. Like I said, they're not known for their third-person gameplay at all.
But the plus is the God of War dude that's on their team.
And the other plus is it seems like Respawn has pull against EA as opposed to the other way around.
Yeah.
So,
which is good too.
Yeah.
And they have EA funding, so that's a lot of funding.
Yeah. I really like all of Respawn's games. I hope they keep making games, and I hope EA doesn't come and crush them to force them into making other games. Like, my biggest fear right now is that Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order blows up, and then EA comes down and says, okay, you're making Star Wars games. And that's it. Yeah. Which, on one hand, that's great because Star Wars, the more Star Wars games and the more good Star Wars games we can get, the better. But at the same time, like, I'm really going to miss Titanfall if they take that away from them. And
then they stop updating Apex. And Apex goes to shit.
Yeah.
It's not good for anybody.
But, I mean, maybe if EA does that and Apex goes away, maybe there's going to be a Star Wars Battle Royale game.
Ooh, I like the sound of that.
That would be cool.
I do like the sound of that. I think they will try to do that with Battlefront, though.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe they're already trying. I've never looked it up.
I haven't seen anything about it. I mean, there's so much controversy behind Battlefront 2 that just came out that who knows what their Battlefront 3 or whatever is going to be.
EA, when they did Battlefront 2, and then they released Madden 19, and both of them were like super pay to win.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, fuck EA.
Yeah.
That was retarded.
I think they were saying like you'd have to spend like $100,000 to be able to unlock Darth Vader in Battlefront 2 when it first came out or something.
Holy shit.
Or it was like 2 million hours of gameplay. Something ridiculous.
EA.
Yeah.
Like they need all that money.
Yeah.
$100,000 to unlock Darth Vader is insane.
It may not have been that exact number, but that is it was something outrageous
for a $60 game.
Oh yeah,
you shouldn't. I hate pay to win games.
I do too.
They fixed it in the new Madden. Like you don't have to pay to win no more.
That's good.
Actually,
and they did quote fix that in Battlefront 2, but it's still not exactly what people were looking for.
Yeah.
I personally did not buy Battlefront 2.
I did not.
I have the first Battlefront and I liked it, but I didn't love it enough to go out and buy the second one. And then when all that controversy came out, I was like, no, screw that. I'm not going to go and spend the money on this.
Honestly, it doesn't really look all that different.
No, it doesn't.
They added different Jedi and different Sith, and that was...
Yeah. I hope they do something different with the next game in the series or whatever it ends up being.
They'll probably add a Battle Royale.
I kind of hope so. I would actually be really
I'd
for
like
that.
it too. I still like Battle Royale games.
Yeah.
I'm not opposed to them all.
Apex is fantastic.
Yeah. I think Apex is actually at the top of the game right now.
Oh yeah, I do too.
In my world anyway.
Especially
Fortnite.
Because it's free to play, so anybody can jump in to do it. It's not, oh, hey, go buy Black Ops 4 for $40 or whatever it is on sale and let's play. It's, hey, download this game tonight and let's go play.
Yep. And I'm not a big building fan in Fortnite.
Neither am I.
People are insane now.
Oh, yeah.
And I like that Apex is more of like, I shot better than you. So
yeah, it's
I didn't build
it's
a wall
more
in front of me.
Skill-based as far as gunplay goes and not how fast can I get to the build limit.
Mm-hmm. I like the gun-based play better.
I do too.
And it's in first person, which is better.
Yeah. Anyway, anything else you want to add to Star Wars or to Respawn Entertainment as a whole?
I like Respawn.
I do too.
I think they're going places, and I hope EA doesn't crush them.
Same.
I'm excited to play Titanfall 2.
$7 right now at Walmart, guys. At least for the PS4. So I think I'll finally convince Archer to play this game.
I'm going to go buy it. It's going to be a good game. Well, like, rate, and share our podcast, guys.
Yeah, we should be on all major podcasting platforms. If you like and rate and share, it'll help boost our placings on that. We are trying to get this show into the ears of as many people as possible. Don't forget to follow our social media as well. We are Gameaholics on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. The only thing that is different is Twitter, which is GameAholicsPod1. So feel free to reach out to us on any of those. One thing that I wanted to do, and I'm throwing this at Archer last minute, so he'll really have to think on his feet. We had a fan send something in. This is from Logan_McKay_ on Instagram, and he asked, what is your favorite Easter egg?
My favorite Easter egg.
If you need a second to think about it, I'll share mine. I have two that I really liked. In Borderlands 2, there is a Minecraft Easter egg where all of a sudden there is just Minecraft blocks in the side of this mountain, and you have to go up and either shoot or melee them, and you'll be able to dig through the mountain. And then when you get inside, there's creepers running around that'll explode and do damage to you.
That's awesome.
It is fantastic. The other one that I really like is in Skyrim, up in the mountains somewhere. There's a 300 reference.
That's cool.
Where there is a saber-toothed tiger with a glass sword stuck in its throat. So that one was really cool. And I guess I have three because two of them come from Skyrim, but the other one is the notched pickaxe in Skyrim at the very top of the throat of the world, which is the tallest mountain in all of Skyrim. There is a enchanted pickaxe that's called the notched pickaxe in reference to Notch, who made Minecraft.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
That's so cool.
It has like lightning powers or something like that. It was super cool.
My favorite Easter egg, to no surprise, it is a Call of Duty game.
Of
course. It is Black Ops 2, the Mob of the Dead DLC. And that whole zombie map is just full of Easter eggs. One of my favorites was you collect, I think, 4 or 5 whiskey bottles, and it plays a Johnny Cash song.
Oh, yeah. You were talking about that one.
And then if you feed all 3 dogs throughout the map, you get a Hell's Retriever. That was one of my favorite ones. And it's a tomahawk. It's on fire when you throw it. And it goes through and it just hits as many zombies as it can, and it comes back and hits them on the way back too.
Oh, that's cool.
It's awesome.
It's kind of like Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Really cool.
That's sick.
And there's a couple more Easter eggs in that particular map. And then another zombie map, Buried. The Easter egg is insane in that one. I haven't even been able to complete it. I've been super close. But like, you basically have to get this ball of energy with a certain gun. I forgot what it was called. It's been so long. But you have to keep feeding the ball of energy with zombies. So you have to be the map has to be just starting. There has to be zombies everywhere, and you have to carry this ball of energy with this energy gun, and you have to keep feeding it zombies. So you have to like train and then run it into the train and take it all the way to the other side of the map. But I've never been able to complete it. Like, it's so fucking hard.
I'll have to look that one up because I don't know if I could complete it either.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah. Anyway, that being said, if you guys want us to talk about anything on the show, feel free to send it to us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or you can email us. Our email is gameaholicspodcast@gmail.com. I know we talked about last episode we were going to start posting to YouTube, and we didn't.
I'm going to make that video. This week I'm going to get a video.
Archer's promise this week, guys, is to play Titanfall 2, play more games, and post on our YouTube channel.
Yes, I will make a video. I just gotta voice over it.
If he does not get to it, I think our first video will be my personal review of Outer Wilds, which I should be wrapping up here soon. I've got it almost written, so I just need to get some gameplay and then voice it over, so it should be good. Anyway, any closing remarks, Archer?
Keep an eye out on our Instagram. Possibly merch coming, guys.
That's a huge hint for everybody. So let us know if you guys would be interested in that, and keep on gaming.
Damn, that was loud.
All right, we are recording. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Checking microphone.
Okay, our levels look good. You ready?
And just a second.
Okay. This is good material. I like it. I like that we're recording this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ready.
Ow.
I heard. It makes it dirty.